We rarely talk about indoor air quality. Typically, we spend about 90% of our time inside buildings, inside our house, inside offices. Just to throw a few numbers, the air is typically 8 times more polluted inside buildings than outside. 80% of buildings are considered to be toxic when you look at the quality of the indoor air. Poor indoor air quality can double our risk to develop cancer. So it's not a little thing. Ventilation is very important. You can decrease respiratory diseases by 20% and even impact on people's productivity at work. If I look at our competitors, not a lot of them are talking or seem to be concerned about the impact of cleaning or the impact of the product on indoor air quality, and that should be a big thing. What are the large families of indoor air pollutants? They can be classified into 3 different classes. We have the particles. We're talking about dust. We're talking about fibers. We can talk about asbestos in older buildings. Chemicals. Chemicals is the second and very, very large class of indoor air pollutants. I'm not going to list them. We're talking about thousands of chemicals. And we have the biologicals. Everybody heard about old buildings having mold problems. So there are different types of biological air pollutants. We're generally speaking about bioaerosols. The first source, I'm not saying it's the most important one, but it's a significant one. It's people. A second source is the activities, the professional activities inside the building. And then you have the building by itself, and you have the quality of the air around the building. Those are the main 4 sources of indoor air pollutants. For sure, this is generally underestimated. For many years, just by improving the performance of ventilation system, we would address the issue. But of course, it's more like hiding a problem than solving a problem. A study has shown that by using new and proper cleaning and maintenance equipment, by using new generation of products, and by adapting cleaning procedures, you can significantly improve indoor air quality. You can reduce airborne particles by up to 50%. You can eliminate 50% of VOCs. And with regard to molds and fungi, you can reduce them by 60, 70%. VOCs mean volatile organic compounds. VOCs are substances, chemical substances that have a high volatility. They are able to emit fumes, they go in the air. Just to take 2 opposite examples, if you take sugar, which is not a VOC, you mix it with water, you put the glass of water on the table, sugar will stay in the water. On the other side, if you take a chemical, a VOC, which is classified as a VOC, you mix it with water, you put it on the table, the VOC, the chemical, will start moving, migrating into the air of the room. It prefers to be in the air than in water or in a cleaning solution. They go from liquid to gas. Within 8 to 10 seconds after being exposed to a VOC, we can find it in your blood. We take a blood sample, we'll be able to say, okay, this person has been exposed to this chemical. It takes a few seconds. It's very, very rapid. I would like to start with fragrances. They're VOCs, they go in the air. You can smell the citrus, apple, mint, whatever. Then you have the solvent that will help at mobilizing grease, especially. In our industry, you see degreasing products that have more than 30% VOC in terms of content. It's very common. Many disinfectants are classified as VOCs. And then you have all the formaldehyde and formaldehyde releasing ingredients, and they just go in the air. So it's very, very common to have VOCs in cleaning products, cleaning and maintenance products. There is no direct link between VOC risk and toxicity. It's not because it's a VOC, it's not necessarily dangerous. You know, it's a broad spectrum of chemicals, and it's a large spectrum of consequences, risk, and toxicity. Indoor air quality, the sick building syndrome, and the concentration of VOCs. It's all interconnected. If you can manage to reduce VOC concentration in the air in the building, you're most likely going to reduce the impact of the sick building syndrome. You're going to improve indoor air quality, and you're going to reduce the number of complaints. Typically, VOCs are 2 to 5 times more concentrated inside than outside. Of course, the aeration outside is basically perfect. And the opposite, inside, they tend to accumulate. When you look at the studies where they are monitoring those chemicals, those VOCs inside a building, about 50% of them, those who have been identified, can be traced back to the cleaning products. So basically, cleaning products can be responsible for up to 50% of the VOCs being generated in a building. I've been rating from 1 to 10 the main sources of VOCs. One of the main source is the spray cans. Anything that's in the spray can is basically 100% VOC. It goes in the air. Second level, you have the graffiti removers. Fortunately, they're not used on a daily basis, but they are strong generators of VOCs. You have the metal polish. They are very, very concentrated in VOCs as well. You have the floor finishes and the floor strippers, who are strong sources of VOCs. They could trace VOCs for the floor finishes up to 2 weeks after its applications. You have the bathroom and tile cleaners that are common sources of VOCs. You have the window cleaners, grease removers, degreasers, stain and spot removers, and less commonly surface cleaners. Since they are all-purpose cleaners, you're not trying to strip, you're not trying to degrease, so most of our competitors are using lower concentration of VOCs in all-purpose cleaners. Just as an example, in a city like Chicago in the USA, every day, 20 tons of VOCs are released in the air by the usage of cleaning products. So it's a huge problem. VOCs are not necessarily dangerous, but most of them are flammable. In terms of environmental impact, many VOCs will contribute to the greenhouse effect. Some will contribute to the smog effect as well. So it's a matter of outside air quality. All the VOCs that are produced coming from cleaning products on this planet on a daily basis, this must be thousands and thousands of tons every day. So yes, they can impact on the quality of our atmosphere. In terms of health, there's a short-term risk. VOCs are important factors when it comes to the sick building syndrome. In terms of long-term effect, many of them have a bad effect on liver, kidneys, nervous system. It's been associated with lung cancers, leukemia. In some buildings, they found up to 1,000 different VOCs floating in the air. They're chemicals and they have interactions. Nobody knows what's the impact of their interactions. It's possible to take two safe substances, to mix them together, and together they interact and they become very dangerous. So we have no clue about the impact of their synergistic combination. Everybody has been experimenting once in a while. You're at the office or in the workplace, and by 3-4 p.m. you start being tired. You may have a headache, itchy eyes, some discomfort. You're not dying. And then you realize that about 1 hour, half an hour after leaving work, you feel better. Well, it could be because you hate your job or you hate your boss. That's one option, but most likely it should be related to poor indoor air quality. It's not a disease, it's a syndrome, it's a condition, okay? Your body, your system is affected by poor indoor air quality. Improvement suggestions. Number one, I will always say, get rid of spray cans. You should never use spray cans. There is no good reason to use spray cans. You should ban air fresheners. Air fresheners are basically pure VOCs, and you spray them automatically in the air every 30 seconds or something like that. You're just hiding a problem and polluting the air. Try to select product with low amount of fragrances. Try to choose products with some kind of environmental certification. And you should look at VOC's concentration in the product. Many times you can find this information on the MSDS. Our floor finishes, they contain less than 0.1% VOCs. It's extremely low. I've seen 10, 15, 20% VOCs in floor finishes. And from my experience, InnuScience has been the first company to bring in the market high performance, no VOCs floor finishes. Our floor strippers, they contain from 3 to 6% VOCs. I've seen floor strippers that had up to 30, 33% VOCs. If you look at our cleaning products, typically, our concentrated products have always less than 1% VOCs content. In terms of the ready-to-use products, the cleaning solution that the workers they're using, we are in the range of 0.001%. Typically, we don't say 0% VOCs, we say no VOCs. Clean part, our mechanical part degreasers, it contains only 1.5% VOCs. And if you compare to the most common brake cleaners or mechanical part degreasers, some of them are 100% VOC. So 1.5% VOCs for a brake cleaner with this level of performance, it's really exceptional. We have a minimal contribution to VOC concentration. We provide a significant contribution to the improvement of indoor air quality. You use the InnuScience cleaning and maintenance product in the building, you cannot be associated with any problem that would be related to the sick building syndrome.